Well, he kept saying, he's like, who's that? I'm like, that's Dave Portnoy. He's like, who's that? I'm like, that's Dan Katz. So I'm like, do you want me to name everybody in the world?
Fore players at Barstool Sports. We're live in North Carolina. We got the whole squad at my place, actually. We got Kirk Minihane on the show. There's just, it's kind of a weird week, to be honest with you. We've got a lot of personalities in town, as we talked about on the last show. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of competitiveness. There's a lot of mixing of brands and people that don't usually mix. We did team dinners last night. That was really fun and weird at times. So it's kind of a weird environment, to be honest with you.
Collection of people that you usually don't get together, specifically on the golf course. Yeah, and it's crazy because we can't talk too much about it. We had our first day today. We did our whole preview about who was going to be down here and like what kind of shit was going to go down. And I would say that day one definitely exceeded all of my expectations, is what I would say.
Well, I mean, it's weird for me. I was here, I thought, for a Bob Does Sports event.
He had that one ready.
I
would teed him up.
But as Riggs explained before the show, of course, now in the foreplay, it's much more nuanced. I'm surrounded by giant intellectuals.
I'm glad that you're able to understand. Yeah. If you get lost at all, we'll catch you up to speed.
For sure.
No issues with that whatsoever.
I said I went back with Dan and Hank in his car on the way back, and I said, this was I think this is my 5th year at the company. This is my favorite day ever at the company today. Ever.
Really?
Yes.
Just playing golf with the boys and.
Well, that's part of it, Dan. Yeah, but there was other. Yeah, it was just fun to.
Yeah.
It was very. We were dancing around everything, but it's like
you got to be you in like a way you've never got to be you at Barstool. I feel like.
Yeah.
You're doing one of your favorite things in the world, which is golfing, and then you were able to kind of be Kirk Minihane, which is. Yeah, we're teasing people. It's a tease show today for sure because we want to talk about everything. But
yeah,
do we have any timeline for when this might come out?
Well, it's based around the real Ryder Cup, so I would assume like right before that.
So it's
I think so. I think it'll be a couple months.
Yeah.
Probably right
and the editing team
2025, right?
Yeah. That's what.
Well, Dave thinks the whole thing is going to be a nightmare. When we got here yesterday, we were talking about it, and he goes like, "What are we doing here?" And we told him the idea, and he goes, "This is insane." And I said, "Yeah, it was like kind of our idea. We pitched it to Hank. We like wanted it to have all the personalities involved." And he goes, "That's a terrible idea." So he looked me in the eyes. He goes, "Terrible idea. This whole thing's a terrible idea."
I'm sorry, we were playing yesterday, Riggs and I, and I heard Portnoy say to somebody, "What's closer, Durham or Chapel Hill?" And I was like, "He'll be gone by like tomorrow morning."
I can't believe he's going to stay here for 4 days.
I'm stunned.
He thinks it's a terrible idea just because of the editing. He thinks the actual content's great, but he's for some reason so fixated on the fact that it will be an impossible thing to edit. But I think the way it went today, it's perfect. Every group's its own video. There's going to be a bunch of videos coming out. One video blends into the next. Everyone will be so invested for 2 weeks, and it'll be over.
Oh, so they're not gonna broadcast it like.
No.
If one match finishes first, it's going to be this match comes out first, then this match?
No, it's going to be individual.
Match by match.
Match
by
match.
That's good.
That makes it a lot easier, I feel like.
There's so much that goes on in each match. You have to give it its own video.
Good. I like that. That's good. Okay, I didn't realize that. That's good.
Yeah, because we were debating a lot of if we should do sort of like a 1-hour version that you watch on YouTube where they do like Saturday at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And it's just they piece together everything that occurred and when it happened. But I think
instead you're gonna get like almost like 10 videos, like 30-minute whatever 9-hole matches of the biggest personalities at Barstool. And it's gonna be each one is going to be great, and it'll make sense because the way that it ends when you end on 9, those people are gonna be talking about what'd those guys do behind us, and then it goes into the next video. Done.
Today I think was the most intense of a golf match that I've ever been involved.
It was very intense
ever, and we were by all accounts the most cordial of all the matches,
for sure,
from what I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? Yeah.
My match was kind of a dud, but that was kind of the plan. Like there wasn't much back and forth going on, but that was kind of to be expected.
There's strategy in the matchups, but it was like what's interesting is there's all of this at Barstool. Like any fucking job, there's history with everyone. And there's relationships and there's tension at times with certain people. And then all of a sudden you're in a golf match, which is a very funny forum in and of itself. But you're in a golf match, it's like you really don't want this person to beat you.
Yep.
It's important to you that you beat them, and they're talking shit. And it's not, it's just, it was as badly as I've ever wanted to win a golf match today in my life.
Yep.
I got my first taste of Rico this week.
Mm-hmm.
What a brain he has.
Does he?
That's one way to put it.
He takes everything so personal. It's crazy.
Rico is very interesting because half the time when you're with him, like you'll be at dinner and you're like talking to him. There's no cameras, so at some point you're like, he's gonna kind of loosen up.
Nope.
He's not gonna do this shtick that you think it's a shtick. Then you find out pretty quickly it's never been a shtick. He is who he is. You can make him. We were making him go insane last night at dinner.
We were talking about how he's an Alabama guy. He's like a big Alabama basketball guy. And then I go, oh, like I saw you in a video with Kansas State. He goes, how many golfers are you friends with? I was like, that wasn't what I was asking at all. It was crazy. And then he said, so they were asking.
I fed him that line, to be fair. 150, but that's all right.
Well, I go, oh, I was trying to like poke at him at dinner, and I go, Rico, I heard you were gonna get, get like a tour of Duke today, yesterday, and he goes, how the fuck did you hear that? Because he didn't. He ended up getting like scheduling conflict. I go, bro, you told me. That was the first thing you said to me when you walked up to me.
Me too. First thing he said, I was at the finish line with this tour.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so
I brought that up to like get Dan to get going, and he goes, how the fuck do you know that? What do you know everything about me? Keep tab. It's crazy. I'm like,
the gold medal Rico story thing from last night though was when he's like we're like somebody said to him like you should probably go to therapy. He's like, yeah, I went to therapy for a while. We're like, what happened? He's like, my therapist talked too slow, so I stopped.
Because I wasn't breaking through.
Because I wasn't getting results.
Wasn't getting results.
Yeah. PFT goes, oh, so you want the therapist to like talk back?
I wasn't getting results. I got to move on. I need results quick.
But you're right. It's this weird like collection of people from just would never interact generally.
So the official list is it's Dave, Big Cat, it's Kirk Minihane, it's Trent, Danny, Riggs, myself. Then you've got Francis, Jersey Jerry, Hank, PFT, and Arian Foster.
Is Francis playing?
Francis is going to have a big year this year of videos. He's been in some big productions that he's just going to make his mark back on Barstool, I think.
Yeah. Francis is another one who he reminds me of Rico in a lot of ways, where it's like he goes from he's the kind of person where you're told all the time, never get too high, never get too low. He gets super high when things are going great, and he's got the biggest smile. Dude, this is the best. We're all down here when things are going bad. He's like, this is the worst week of my entire life. I want to die. This sucks. And he has no middle ground. And when you put him in this environment with these kinds of people, I think Francis is...
He's doing the thing before in the practice round yesterday. He was like, I just want to have fun, play golf. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. That's always his expectation. Now that he's gone through so many bad Barstool experiences, he shows up to each one now like, I'm going to be a ray of sunshine and I'm going to be the happiest guy here. And 10 minutes in, he's like, this is the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
He's just always been that way. And then we're at dinner with Jersey Jerry last night, kind of talking about matchups and stuff. And we're just talking about who's good, who's not. And he's like, well, Big Cat shot an 81 today. He tweeted it out on he tweeted his scorecard out. And we pulled it up, and Big Cat had made a hole-in-one on 7. Like, you didn't see that and think like maybe this isn't a real scorecard. He's like, I don't know. I thought he shot an 81 today. It's really cool when all these personalities get together. A lot of crazy shit can happen, but that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I showed up on the 8th hole yesterday. I was a little bit late getting there, and Big Cat's like in the cart. Clearly, I just picked up his ball. He goes, "Hey, I got a hole-in-one on 8." I go, "Nice." He goes, "Yeah, it was cool.
It's cool.
It was cool.
It's cool."
We have to give a big shout out to our great friends at Chevy Chevrolet, the bow tie. They've been doing the electric vehicles. So look, at the end of the day, we're in the future. We talk a lot about the future. This whole show, we've hypothesized about the future. It's broken Frankie's brain forever. Somebody actually sent it from the gallery in that they were hoping we could bring this up for Frankie. We'll probably talk about it next show, but they said, can you please ask Frankie if he knew that automobiles and airplanes came out at pretty much the exact same time?
I think that would blow his mind.
I think that blows my mind as well. Now we're in the future so much. We've got electric vehicles from Chevy. Barstool's most valuable truck is the Chevy Silverado EV. It goes 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds. It's got 17-inch diagonal infotainment system. It's got 400-mile range on a full charge. Do yourself a favor. Go to Chevy.com. Check out not just the Silverado, but they've got the Bolt. They've got the Blazers. The Blazer's iconic. I actually want to get a Blazer.
That's the next one?
Really badly.
Yeah.
I love the Blazer. I just
Look
think
good
it's
around here.
classic. It's a good look. So anyways, go to Chevy.com, check it out. You can toy with the website. You can get all the different bells and whistles on the EV. They've got the EV family across all the different brands and models that you've known, that you've come to know and love over the years. Like I said, the bow tie Chevy, EVs coming together. Chevy.com. Go check them out right now.
Sometimes when we're in our little like world of golf, you forget just how many ridiculous characters there are at Barstool because we're not interacting with them as much as we used to at the office. And it's just like, this is why this place is still successful, because there's just somehow you find these people that you just can't make up. You really can't.
5 years for you.
5 years for you.
My 5th year. Yeah. And I
Okay.
just had my 4th anniversary, which is stunning. Like, I
So
mean,
what I meant to ask, what is the arrangement between your show and do they just own the whole show? Because it's on the radio, right?
what radio?
Is it? Do you just is the
Are you
show
under the
that,
impression we do we're on the radio, Dan?
are you not on the radio?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't imagine the FCC would allow that show on the radio.
This is going to go well.
Well, I don't understand.
Well, I see you do the show. Is that just for Barstool?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was my question. I just thought it was on the radio. As
Why do
well.
you think that?
I don't know.
You've seen some of these rants. They wouldn't last on the radio.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Radio would still be around if they could.
That's
fucking
probably true.
Yeah,
Let
That's
them do shit
probably
like
true.
that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So I text my producer. I was like, "Why do I hate Rapport?" Which I really don't. But he listed a couple of things. I think the gold medal for me is like the one where you basically told Twitter like you can't make fun of Michael Block. I'm like, if you're telling me I can't make fun of Michael Block, you got to get the fuck out of here. Like Michael
you
Block
can
is
make fun of Michael
He's
Block.
there to be. Have you seen him since this whole thing?
It's. I will say that
I saw that coming 50 million miles.
I will
away.
say that the actions since.
But I knew that
since
was going to happen.
week-
That's
yeah,
why it was kind
that's
of
fair.
part of the
All
fun
right.
of it.
You might have won the Michael Block interaction.
But I think you, Dan, though, I think you play the you like a part of your Twitter game is playing the game big time.
Oh yeah,
And not fully just like when the
it's a business. I mean, it's not a business, but it's part of. Yeah, you
It's
want
part of the
Well,
job.
like,
you
for
want to do
example-
things that do well. Like you want. Sometimes you're like, oh, this is just red meat, and you're just going to put that.
But
out
like
there.
for example, when Monahan went down and the health he was removed
Yeah, you
because
didn't mean that.
health concern, you tweeted out something along the effect of like, if you're going to use this moment to like potentially make fun of someone who's potentially in like a health concern issue, and it was like literally everyone on earth was like, this guy's the most hated guy in the world of golf, and then takes a leave of absence. Like everyone's going to make a joke or a tweet or something about that.
You had some level of skepticism as a human being.
yes,
yeah,
for sure.
Right,
But
that was it.
But I was not going to publicly say. There's some things you keep to yourself.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is like you're playing the game to a degree of like the
I make
this is the professionalism way to do it versus
100%.
like you might be doing that and then a group text with your buddies might be like,
Oh,
how about this fucking guy?
when do you guys go to commercials?
When do we go to commercials?
We're on the radio, right? What are we
Tee it
playing
up.
next?
I mean, the Dan and Kirk like relationship is already. I don't even know where it's at.
I think it's
really.
pretty good.
Yeah, I've got no problem with Kirk.
I would just say
Going
this.
I can
in, it
take
was
it. I
I
can
would
rocky.
say, I would say,
take it.
let's play a hypothetical game here.
Yeah.
If hypothetically Dan and I were teammates, and you asked Dan what kind of teammate Kirk Minihane is, I think he would say a great teammate.
He is a great teammate. And
Would-
look,
hypothetically, yeah.
hypothetically a great teammate. And I will say this: part of this is going back and forth, and I can take it. It doesn't bother me. It really. I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's funny. I
Well,
don't.
it feels like it's back. There's not a lot of fourth, or it's fourth. There's not a lot of back. I saw somebody tweet a show tweet an account where Dan's like, "Yeah, he's like, I just don't respond,"
Yeah.
which I don't enjoy. But that's okay. If that's the way you're gonna do it, I don't mind that.
That was my approach for a while. But if you don't follow your show, I think it's safer to just like ignore you.
Of course, yeah. I don't blame anybody who does that. Yeah,
Because
of
like
course.
you have to follow the show, I think, to understand the humor, the bits, or whatever the fuck it is.
It's a scary world to jump into.
Right.
I feel like.
You've said this before. It's not that scary. Nothing's gonna
Oh
happen.
no, you're just like way more
can
witty
be.
than me, and way
Well,
you know.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like you go into a fight with you, you're coming out with fucking nothing left.
I mean, I have the ultimate respect for you because, and I've told you this of the
Yes.
Charlotte
I always
Wilder
bring this
thing
up,
back in the
yes.
day.
Yeah.
That was what 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, you told me you still read it. You
I look at that often. I think the videos.
did you not like her? Or?
I'm not commenting on that, but I thought the interaction was absolutely incredible. Do you guys know about this?
no.
So she wrote. We had actually brought up again recently.
Nice.
Something came up. So she was freelancing for the Boston Globe. This is back when I was on the radio.
Hey, so there was radio involved.
I was on the radio at
Vindicated.
one point, and it was during the Trump
Yeah.
madness, like the peak of it. And she wrote a story about
what happened with
how-
Trump? What happened with Trump?
President Trump. And there was something going on in some town, in a small town in Massachusetts, and there were like two people who had Trump signs, And she wrote some crazy story about how like the town was snapping in half and it was just nuts. And then she later said that we were at the Super Bowl, and I think she said like somebody from my show like hit on her or something like that. And it was like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, I'm fucking in bed at like 10. I didn't even know what she was talking. She just snapped. Trump broke her in half. So I don't really remember the story, but I remember she was like, she told some story about how she was at a party at Christmas and somebody was like, oh, this person in town won't even talk anymore about President Trump. So this reporter like calls her on the phone and like talks about it. It's in the Boston Globe. She calls one random person. Talk about the Trump side. It's in the fucking newspaper. It's just wild. It's crazy. It's all nuts. But yeah, I don't like her. There's a lot of people I don't like, but her I don't like.
The video is he goes up to her in the airport and he goes, Charlotte Wilder, Kirk Minihane. And she goes, hey, Kirk. He goes, so why'd you say? She goes, I'm not doing this. And she turns around and walks away.
Yeah,
he goes, what do you mean? What do you mean? Let's just talk. Let's just talk. And she ran away.
Well, she did the whole thing about how we're the worst people in the world and all that shit. And it's just like, that was the same as here. You know, some people just, you know, instinctively think that you guys I think are different probably, but like think that we're just like this crazy people because we work at Barstool. Meanwhile, Barstool has 50 million goddamn liberals like left and right. I don't even care.
Right.
Like the company's whacked out to the left too, which is fine.
Just look at the emails.
Right. I don't look at them.
Riggs doesn't like them either.
No, I mean, I literally. I
Who could like those emails?
I don't even know my email password.
What anything on the
general like company
Barstool
fucking
Beast?
email?
Like,
I don't know what that is.
Lunch and
What?
learn.
I don't know what that is.
He doesn't know
Oh,
what
that's the thing. Oh, that's the thing.
Lunch
with the
and
jacket.
learn.
I never
Lunch
got the
and learn.
jacket. Is that the jacket?
Oh, the Beast?
Barstool
You
Beast.
probably haven't gotten
It's
nominated.
Barstool Beast.
Is that the jacket?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to nominate me for that.
I have not.
Basically, player of the month in the Barstool world on the
I
financial
mean,
side.
where are we that we're doing that?
I know.
Crazy.
Whoever's responsible for that should not even be fired. Just like
Someone
leave
is
them out.
taking company time and money to create that. There was a deck. There's a jacket. They have to inquire with the merch team.
This is one of Riggs' favorite games with me. He does it to me all the. He did it at the mini golf. He did it yesterday. He's like, wow.
You started it yesterday.
Well, he's
You
like,
started
he's like-
counting
he's
how
like-
many
he's like,
people
why don't
were
we count-
there
Why don't
not
we
doing
count the
anything?
people behind the scenes who are just here? Because some guy came over and adjusted the high noon sign, and Riggs like, oh, that pays for his flight. And stuff like that. Why I even care? It makes me fucking mental.
It's so interesting how all companies, it seems, because you would think of all the companies that have almost ever existed, that would never happen at Barstool Sports.
Right.
It just wouldn't. It can't. It just, for some reason, when a company gets big enough and it gets away from enough people, it's like, now we're going to have lunch and learns. And now we're going to have the Barstool Beast.
No matter what event I'm ever at, before it starts, I always look over and always there's two sales guys, and always one sales guy does this. He just kind of nods. I'm like, are you working? Are you working? Go sell something.
So
I'm working.
right before the final round of the mini golf,
Ugh.
I looked at Kirk and I go 19. He goes, what? I go 19 people. And I nodded over towards all the people sitting around doing nothing. He goes, this is the final round. Don't do this to me.
And they were like literally doing. When I say nothing, like some of these guys are really working.
Yeah.
That guy we saw, like some of these guys are. These guys are working. There are guys working here.
Yep.
But then there are people who just stand around.
Yeah.
I saw an article, I think it was in Front Office Sports or one of those, like they write about sports media, and they were saying like Barstool is hiring executives from ESPN,
Yeah, what the-
Meta, Amazon. Like that's what happens.
Yeah. I guess it's undeniable.
I think it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get big enough and you get a lot of people.
we
you
like
surprised you've made it
Bleacher
this
reported
long?
ourselves.
Me?
Yeah. I remember the beginning, the first year.
We almost got fired. Like we turned. By the way, chaps who tried to get my producer Steve Robinson fired is apologized subsequently. And other people with that Benjamin Albright guy.
Yeah.
Portnoy was going to fire Steve Robinson. I was 2 weeks into the job.
Yeah, I remember.
And then there was something a year in. Well, I mean, this wasn't great. I did give during the sales thing, I did give the password to the Minifans to go bombard people during the sales.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's grounds for maybe a conversation.
I couldn't even make a case against it.
No.
But the thing about Dave is, Dave's like, I was like, I won't do it again. And he's like, all right. Like, you know, he literally fired me. He said he'd done a press conference. Like which I think he said he still has.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I would like to see.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
It was like a big company-wide meeting with potential advertisers trying to convince them to spend money. And Kirk literally allowed everyone to infiltrate it and just ruin the whole meeting, which cost Barstool millions of dollars.
Nobody went in. I didn't give any. It was something. I forget what it was. We found I forget.
Maybe
It was.
Why did you do it?
Gave out the link.
Do you remember why
That'd
you
be my
did it?
guess.
Do you remember why you did it?
No, I'm sure it was nothing. I mean, I can't imagine. It must have been so small. But at the time, I'm sure I felt slight. But I think I've gotten better at that. Because now, like, they also just leave me alone. There's like, he's whatever. Like,
That's why I think the ignore you tactic for most people is the best.
Well, the
thing.
I can't
success
stand
on
that.
your
It's a good
part,
move.
like, earned you, like, you can just live in your own world now. I feel like in the
the
beginning, everyone was like, oh, he's coming over. This is like from radio onto here. What's he going to do? Him and Dave fight all the time. And now it's just like,
But
You guys are just
but
cruising.
You are in your own world, but you've bought into Barstool things like the dozen,
Totally, I'll do
mini
whatever.
golf. You're here on this
Big
trip.
time.
Like
Yeah.
that's you seem to have adjusted well to that.
Which I think is the only way of survival for people that are outside of the office. We've seen a lot of people that
Yeah.
they hire and they never come in. They never like.
Right.
I mean, even Chaps talked about, like, he's been working here for how long? Like 7 years. This is gonna be the first time he's ever interacted in an office setting, and that's gonna be huge
Right.
for people like that. And like,
Yeah.
if you're not in those dozen, and you're not in videos like this, it's fucking tough, man. I can't even imagine watching all that stuff just happening at Barstool and being like, yeah, I work at the same company, but I'm never like a part of any of
Right.
it. It's got to be insane.
To a lot of people too, Kirk, I think like they don't know your world, and all of a sudden they just see you getting like nailed to a cross
Right.
in a full stadium, and they're
Right,
like, "What
right.
the fuck?"
My favorite ever
Yeah.
was them watching you guys watching the dozen match in that church.
Oh, that was great. Yeah,
That was insane.
Yeah, it was great.
That was insane.
I mean, yeah, the dozen like is I take that. I will say though, like I took today more seriously than I took the dozen.
Yeah.
And I take the dozen very seriously. I take the dozen way like if I sign another contract here, it's only so I can do stuff like this and the dozen. I don't care about the show.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like if nobody listens, I don't care. Like as long as they pay me to just do like trivia and stuff like this, I'll do it.
It's a dream.
I mean, how many more shows can you do? You sit around and talk about like, oh, it's in the, who gives a shit? We have to talk about Tony Finau for the rest of your lives. I mean, Jesus Christ, life's too short.
Well, this is a very nuanced show. Yeah, we talk.
That's a
about
good
this.
point.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's very easy, I guess I would say, in these this day and age, to get caught up in what everyone needs from you. Never take a moment to think about what you need from yourself. We work a lot. We focus a lot on working on our bodies, working on our careers. We don't think enough about working on our brains. You got to have good mental health.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think, oh, what do I need therapy for? What do I need therapy for? Then they do it, and they're like, wow, it was nice to actually get those things out instead of them.
Sometimes you got to talk to somebody.
Sometimes it becomes like a cloud in your head, and you don't really know. And then when you get it on, you get it out, and you actually say it, it becomes concrete, and you feel like you can deal with it. It's a big deal.
Get it off your shoulders.
Get it off your shoulders.
Whether or not you've been in therapy personally, you should try it. You should understand. Maybe there's a stigma. You've thought that there's a stigma. Luckily, those barriers are being broken down. And luckily, BetterHelp now exists and is able to help people dramatically. If you're thinking of starting therapy, please give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for absolutely no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Fore today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP, .com/Fore to get 10% off your first month.
I was saying a wrap, not to do too much golf, but I was saying to Dan last night at dinner, my buddy Dan.
Please be careful on the golf front.
What do you mean?
We don't want to talk golf that often.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just a little bit. Can we do a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. Because I can't do it anywhere else.
10%.
It's the Bob Does Sports show.
We do it on the
try.
big golf gambling YouTube show, which I know you watch every
It was
week.
great.
Yeah, I mean,
Great.
we don't have it before. You guys have a friggin' bet every week on there, but we don't have that on the fucking gambling app.
How many people at Barstool do you think know that we do that show?
Zero.
Like that are not camera
Zero.
facing.
As many salespeople who put in effort for the dozen thing.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
you tell
yeah.
me, it's zero.
Right.
So, the rider, other than Scheffler right now, like this is the first time in like X amount of years where I think the European team right now is actually better than the American team, playing better. Other than Scotty,
Which I found to be a crazy statement.
Other than-
Regardless of playing going
I'm not
this
saying
way.
they're not. I'm not saying
1
they're
through
better.
8. 1 through 8, yes.
But so
They got
take
murdered last. They got murdered last time.
doubled up.
It's a new.
But take Scheffler out, right?
2 years.
Who's playing well right now?
Wyndham Clark.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I don't think of him, but right.
Ricky
Okay.
Koepka,
Huh?
Ricky.
He's playing, but Ricky's on the team right
Brooks
now.
Koepka.
Yeah.
Brooks.
Yeah, I guess he's playing well. Who the hell knows? Like he played well. He's played well at the majors.
I think
Max is playing. Max is playing terrible.
Max
Finau's
is
been
bad.
pretty quiet since the start of the year. Jordan's up and down. JT's not been great.
Cantlay
Morikawa's not great.
Yeah, Cantley's bad in the majors, but he's good in every other
Yeah,
tournament.
he's been kind of okay, but like Rahm's playing great. McIlroy's playing well. Hatton's playing well.
Hovland.
Fitzpatrick, Hovland, Fleetwood's playing well.
Shane
My guy
Lowry.
Ludwig.
Shane Lowry's having a good year.
I guess that's a good point because, like, going into the last Ryder Cup, all the American players were clearly just the best players in the world.
They were
Scheffler
playing
was-
They were
yeah.
playing insane.
They also had all those old guys on the European team who aren't
Yes.
there anymore.
Right.
Remember, I was on your
Poulter.
podcast, and Riggs was making a really good case to pick Kevin Kisner over Scotty Scheffler for the Ryder Cup team.
It wasn't Scotty Scheffler. It was Daniel Berger, who is. What's he injured?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was supposed to come back in May and then supposed to come back in June.
Tough scene for me is that the time they should have picked Kiz was Paris.
Yeah, before.
Yes.
That's when they should have picked Kiz.
Think he's making the team this year or no?
Whistling, I don't think would have changed anything. And then when they finally did pick him last year is when he should not have been picked, and he was awful at the President's Cup. So
they got me Freddie Couples, so I can't complain.
fair.
So
that was huge. You're welcome.
Job for life.
You're welcome.
I thank you. I thank you at the time. I thank you.
This show's friendly with the KMS,
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
We don't want those wildlings coming after
No.
us. The whole crew.
I think about Freddie Couples every time I'm over a golf ball. I don't know if you've seen that. I talked about it in the
I
last
saw this. I saw in your video.
Yeah, I really do. And it's changed my game completely.
Yeah.
And obviously, and I said I don't have the swing of him, but thinking about that tempo has changed my entire game.
Yeah.
He's a godsend.
I think about him all the time. I think about him every day.
Have
He's
you
my
ever,
favorite athlete. He's now as a kid, Larry Bird was my idol. He's now my favorite athlete ever.
Have you ever had a conversation with Joey LaCava?
I met Joey LaCava from a Springsteen show at Albany, and I think he was I was still at the EI at the time. I was like, just so you know, like what you've done with Freddie's meant a lot to me.
I imagine is Cantlay going to give Freddie a run for your money for your favorite player? No.
I mean, that's the thing about Joey going to Cantlay was such a kick in the nuts.
It's a very strange match.
I want him to go
personality wise.
Yeah, I want Tom Kim or Hovland or somebody I can get behind. Cantlay's just
I know.
a fucking drip.
I'm happy for Joey that he's gonna. I mean, Cantlay's still like a cash cow. He's just
for
gonna
sure.
fucking finish top 15 in every event that he has to, and it's just gonna be a huge check for Joey. But yeah, I agree. I can't really get behind. I'm not wearing a Goldman Sachs hat going to the fucking.
No, he's just so uninspiring.
Yeah,
Cantlay saw he left me seen on Instagram. DM'd him. He read it.
does that
never
a lot in
responded.
person too with us.
Yeah.
We were
nothing.
set up in the LACC on this hill, and you couldn't have. You had to actually walk
remember that.
over us.
We did the Bryson thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to walk over us where we set up. And Cantlay legitimately stopped, looked, he never actually looked up, stopped and walked around, took a huge, deep breath as if we were a problem in his way.
I mean,
It was tough. And
5
then
minutes earlier, John Rahm said hello.
if you ask him why would he say if you
I
ask
have
him
no
personally-
idea. I don't know. I can't even.
I think he's so offline
Yeah.
that for him it's this is just a nuisance. I don't want to deal with this. That's what he'll say.
I thought the wild Frankie take at dinner last night was. I think he said that the Tiger is going to win another major.
Yeah.
I think you will.
You were.
Did you have some wine last night?
He
I
did. They
did,
did.
yeah.
A little bit of wine?
But
I'm with it.
Did you drink? You don't drink anything, Kirk?
No.
Frankie and I shared a bottle of Pinot. It's great.
we did. Dan said there's no chance.
I don't think there's any
None.
chance.
I mean,
Such an
zero.
I've said this before. That's such an
Zero.
easy take.
Yeah, but it's
But
correct.
that's what I think.
But basing it off of that take,
2019, that was the take too. And
Exactly,
I
that
don't
was the
think
take.
That's not
Like,
true.
five-
That is not true.
Yes,
That
it
is-
was.
He won the
What are you
tour
talking
championship the year before. He was the betting favorite to
We're
win
saying
that
from,
week.
From 2014.
He was the betting favorite to win
We're
the
saying
Masters
from
that week.
2014 until 2000,
what, second to
mid
Koepka?
2018.
Second to Koepka at
Everyone
Bellevue.
said he's
Yeah.
And
done.
was
He should
leading
retire.
with
Yeah,
9
the
holes to
lead,
go.
yeah.
And Joe
Yankee,
should
yeah.
retire. Right, but we're not saying the week before. We're saying the 4 years.
Where was he
leading
ranked
up
in
to
the world
that year.
before the Masters that week?
12th.
Yeah, he was 6th after he won.
We're
Right?
not saying going into the Masters. We're saying for 4 years before that stretch when he returned, everyone said he's done. He'll
I
never.
feel like
win
he
another
might be
major,
older
never
now,
win
maybe more damaged since 4. I could be wrong. You might have to look at his
Yeah.
Wikipedia page.
His leg, I think, is in some rough shape.
He can't even walk. I feel bad. I want him to win another major, but
I love nothing more.
And you don't think that's going to happen. Intellectually, that's not going to happen.
I think he's going to win another major.
I think he can win at Augusta.
I think he's going to win the Masters.
Do they play 4 rounds still?
Yes, but he just got surgery to try and do that. He wouldn't have gone through this surgery for his plantar fasciitis.
You've been
You
there.
are
You've been
gonna.
there, right?
These clips
Yeah,
are gonna
you know
come
how
back
hilly
to
it
haunt
is.
you.
So does he.
He's going to stop
I would
calling
love
it.
You're gonna get big catted.
He's-
Where you're
he's
gonna,
gonna-
be tweeting about how awesome it is that Tiger won and how I can't believe people didn't believe, and we're gonna have these clips.
Tiger's
Save
going to start
receipts.
calling you
Save these
Daniel
fucking
instead of D
receipts.
when he
No,
sees
listen,
these.
Save
I
these receipts.
worship Tiger. I think he's the most awesome. I don't think he's done anything wrong in his
most
entire
awesome.
life.
Most
When I have a child, eventually he will be he's the role model.
You're gonna name Tiger?
No, but maybe Eldrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adrian's kid is named Rory,
Which is awesome.
which
But-
is awesome.
But I think this one, it's just too tall of a mountain to climb.
Weren't you on the same side of us where you were saying
also
that if he
old.
had a
He's
golf
old
cart,
anyway.
he would win?
I don't know if he would win, but he would have a much better chance. But
So
he's not going to do
the
that.
argument there is if he's just more mobile, he still has the swing and the ability.
He's not
to
going to
compete.
be more mobile. He just had a
Why do you
ankle
think he got
fusion
that surgery?
Because it was probably hurting like a motherfucker.
I think
Did you see him walking around on that Friday and that
was
Saturday?
He's had surgery
Pre-surgery.
since then. I think he had the surgery solely because
More
he believes he can compete still.
I think he had the surgery because to make his day-to-day life.
He made 2 cuts.
Right.
He can make cuts. I'm not saying. I'm not
that's
saying
like half the battle.
No,
right
it's
there. The
not.
guy can't walk.
It's definitely
no,
not.
it's
Fred
not.
Couples made the cut.
He
the
shot
Masters this year.
79.
Great
70.
player.
He
You
couldn't
love
walk.
Great
He had to get
It's
surgery.
probably 30% of the battle.
He shot 79 on the weekend.
Pre-surgery. This guy's looking at what he's doing. He's making cuts. He can't even fucking walk.
Why didn't he get the surgery initially?
What did he shoot over the weekend at the Masters?
Well, we don't talk about it.
I mean, he didn't play
because he couldn't
Shot up
walk.
on anesthesia and got surgery. And now he's going to be back next
Guys,
year.
He
He's
shot
going to be
79, and then he pulled out the next year. The first year, 2022. This year,
I'm saying this year
he withdrew.
Yeah, so withdrew.
Tiger Woods assessed his game after the Masters and said,
Frankie, this isn't-
I can fucking still do this if I can just get from point A to point B. I think this surgery will get me from point A to point B.
Then why didn't he do it initially?
Because
there was like all this talk about him not wanting to go under more surgery and be out for longer. He thought that he would be able to deal with the pain. His pain
It's not
threshold
that tough,
clearly.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, he can deal with the pain. He finishes the round, except for the Masters. But he's gonna have to beat
he
Scotty.
walked in
He's gonna have to beat
Tulsa.
Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm. Like that.
Scotty
He's
Scheffler
there.
can't putt.
He walked
Neither
in
can
Tulsa
Tiger.
like a week after he got in the accident. This is like the guy can fucking do it.
I'm not saying he won't play.
Yeah,
Tiger
break that
Woods
accident.
believes he can win another major.
I actually, at this point, I actually don't.
The way he talks now is not. He talks like
He's just happy to be there.
He talks about he wants to play in the Champions Tour.
This is
it's
all
over.
until ball's in the air. Once the ball's in the air, this guy shoots a fucking 68
He's
on
also, like,
Thursday.
not young
He's
anymore.
back.
No, he's not. I think
Phil
one
won
of the
at
biggest
50.
It was
one
a
of the
fluke.
One of the biggest reasons that Tiger Woods, I think, will find a way to win another major is because Phil won at 50. I don't think he'll let it go out.
Imagine
where,
if Phil won this year, the Augusta.
Oh,
Where do you stand on Phil?
I've been like up and down like everybody else. I'm now
Freddie's
kinda-
not a fan of
I'm
him.
back in. No, they don't like each other, and I'm down on Freddie a little bit. And Tiger, by the way.
Why are you down on Freddie?
Not word one from either one of those guys. Like all anti-live, and this happens, and I haven't heard anything from. Where's Tiger been on this?
I have
Nothing.
Very silent.
Like,
he's
what's,
working on his game. He's going to win another major.
like, I mean, he gets. Yeah, what's his thoughts on it?
I know that is pretty crazy that we haven't heard from him. I thought by now we'd get some sort of.
I think it's a sign of the times, though, that this whole deal happened, and he was vocally against it, and it didn't really matter because he's not going to play in any of those events.
Right.
He only plays the majors, and those aren't owned by the PGA Tour. Maybe he plays Riv, which, but he's not. He's not going to be a central figure in this new company that they're building.
You don't think in any world Jimmy Dunn ever approached Tiger Woods and was like, "This is what I'm thinking." Over that 7 weeks time,
I think they were too worried. There's too big of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't think they told a fucking
The money
soul
was
until it
so-
was
Not
done.
Tiger Woods. You don't
Nope.
think they had a
Nope.
call?
I think
Tiger-
Rory would be more likely to be in the know, and he was not in the know.
Just think of the size of the deal. If Tiger texts like JT, who texts, and then it blows up the whole thing.
Yeah.
JT's struggling, eh?
He played okay this weekend.
Yeah, he got a top 10.
He did, but it's a course where everybody's making 1,000 birdies.
Yeah.
He shot an 81 at the U.S. Open.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
It's easy
It's
to
amazing that's not more common.
I agree.
Golf is so fucking hard that if you just don't have it that day, it's amazing that you just don't go out there and like make 10 bogeys. And you're
Yeah,
just like,
we'll
"Oh,
be
I
talking
just
about
didn't
that
have it today."
81 for like years.
81
It'll be like,
to
"Oh,
me,
he
like
shot an
obviously
81."
to us, that's like a decent score on a fucking U.S.
When
Open
you go
golf
play a
course.
tough
where-
golf course, you post an 81, you're like, pretty
But
good.
like,
for the,
isn't
pretty
it amazing
fucking
that that's not more common out there? That's how good
Yeah.
these guys are.
Yes.
I mean, a 77's like, I mean, this guy needs a new coach.
Right.
But it wasn't. Problem is nobody was shooting that number.
I
that
know,
course,
but like
at
just
that
one
course.
day, you just fucking don't
Yeah.
have it. I mean, some guys go on 2-month-long batting slumps where they just can't get a base hit. I mean, Aaron Judge at one point like didn't make contact with a baseball for like a month.
I think it's
couple years
short
ago.
game. Like they can still slap it around and just get the ball in the hole and make fucking pars. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like it's amazing.
But golf's just different than a sport where you just don't give the guy the benefit of the doubt for just having a bad day.
No, you don't.
Has anybody had like? I love the. I'm going back in time, but I love the Chip Beck, Ian Baker Finch complete fall where they can't do anything. Like Chip Beck was like played in 3 straight Ryder Cup teams, shot 59, and like I think he missed like 28 cuts in a row. Like David Duval, like Ian Baker Finch, like forgot. Has that happened to anybody really good
Didn't Ian
recently?
Baker Finch hit it out of bounds from the first tee
At St.
at
Andrews.
St. Andrews
Yeah.
left?
I mean, he was never as
So
good at his
hard to
peak,
do.
but I think the best one would be Smiley Kaufman, maybe.
Right, yeah.
He was
It's-
never. He
it's-
wasn't a major winner, but he won
Right.
a PGA Tour event.
It's just weird when guys like totally like
He
Duval
pulled
was
it across 18
He hit it. I believe he
he's
hit it
playing with Arnold
OB
Palmer.
left.
Yeah, he hit it, yeah.
onto like the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like over by the hotel.
That's like 130 yards less.
He had the driver yips.
Is
Like,
there a video of this?
I don't know.
Gotta be.
But like Duval, I think Duval won like 13 or 14 times in like 3 years.
he was number one in the world.
Number one, but like during Tiger's peak.
Yeah.
And then completely lost. Like I don't think we've seen that, right?
Didn't Steve Stricker fall off the planet.
Came
Yeah, he
back.
was good early, but he can't. Yeah.
And
he
then,
did. He did.
and then another one.
Kuchar too.
Cooch.
Yeah.
And then he figured, has he
I
always?
think Westwood too. Years ago.
Yeah, he had a
Has
little down.
Cooch,
So
you know, that's your, more experience. Did Cooch always play the hard pull, like where he aims way right and pulls it?
he's always had that funky.
Yeah.
So even
it's a little
pre-
different now, but but he was like
Yeah.
an amateur when he was good. Yeah, kind of.
That's amazing.
I mean, Molinari, but he still makes cuts. Like he's still out
That's
there.
not a bad one though, because he kind of stinks. But you're right. Yeah, he's
Tiger murdered him.
Yeah, he never recovered from that.
No,
yeah,
no.
that was a Francis.
And
moment.
that pine cone
I mean, if you,
Theoretically.
not to be specific. But
Yeah.
you're right. Theoretically.
in a simulation.
Fucking Francis.
Yeah.
Uh,
In a simulation.
So did I see that the PGA Tour and PIF submitted like a 4 or 5 page framework
Yeah.
on what this agreement's going to look like?
Well, they got to give it to the feds. They're
Yeah.
going to Congress in a couple weeks. Yeah, it was kind of
July 11th?
July 11th. It was kind of what we already knew.
See, substantive.
Pretty good.
It was kind of what we already knew. I think the biggest takeaway from that is that the board has full control over the future of LIV, and the board, at least theoretically, is controlled by the PGA Tour people. Which people today were saying LIV is dead. LIV is dead. I have a hard time believing it's just going to go away immediately, but I don't think we learned that much from the league today. But it's going to be July 11th. Will be appointment viewing for sure.
Are we allowed to be skeptical of Jay Monahan yet or no?
No. It's a health issue.
There's vodka in this? Yes, there is. There is vodka in this now with Truly Vodka seltzers made with real fruit juice. They like to keep it real over at Truly. Truly, look, they've been a big supporter of ours for 5 years now. They came on when the Barstool Classic was nothing. There'd never been a single event. There was no proof of concept. There was just kind of an idea. And Truly came on. They said, we love that. We want to support that. We want to help people enjoy their days out there on the golf course. We're going to be the summer drink. Boom. It's done phenomenal stuff for us. It's done phenomenal stuff for people at the Barstool Classic. And now they've got the real vodka seltzers.
They've also done a phenomenal thing for me. They came in as the first sponsor for Side Gig, which has been a series I've been trying to make for my entire career. And they made it happen. So I'll forever be indebted to Truly. I love Truly. And it's a game changer with the vodka in it. And Truly is the greatest.
You know who didn't help make that happen?
Who?
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. But Truly, low sugar.
Okay.
Low sugar.
I got where you're going.
You know what I'm saying? Fewer calories. All 12-ounce cans have under 110 calories, which means plenty of refreshing flavor, will not weigh you down. A refreshing go-to that's perfect for the summer. They put summer in all capital letters.
Summer.
We're excited about summer. Find Truly Vodka Seltzer near you at trulyhardseltzer.com. Once again, those are the vodka seltzers, real vodka. The fruit juice is great. It's real. trulyhardseltzer.com.
Yesterday on the flight here early, it was old school. The guy next to me in the middle seat had like a suit on, and he had a couple of like drinks during the flight. I was like, early. I'm like, I never see that anymore.
What
Planes?
time was it?
It was like 9. No, it was like it was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's
No rules, I
unbelievable
guess.
how often people just say yes to drinks,
just
alcoholic
boozing
drinks on
away.
planes at unbelievable hours of the day.
you
Or
wouldn't
if
do
you sit like Comfort Plus and up, like, and they ask you for a drink, and you say no, it's almost like the flight attendants are like stunned. They're like,
Yep.
no, just water.
Frankie's still rattled from a couple of things. He's mad. He's still mad at the guy who gave us was nice enough to give us a ride over here.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So we're at the hotel, and
was insane.
This guy gives us a ride. It's I don't know, Riggs, how far you are from the hotel, like a mile maybe.
Yeah, it's close.
And Frankie goes. You went to get money, which is very nice.
Yeah.
And
Went to the ATM.
offer the guy 20. It probably was like a $4 hit in the ATM too. I would think.
Yeah.
He gave it.
$4.50.
He's like, yeah, nice kid. We're driving 450. We're driving here. He's a nice kid, and we're done. And Frankie's like, here you go. He's $20. And the guy's like, no.
He said no to my 20.
And Frankie's like, no, it's okay. He's like, you know what? Give it to one of the other. One of the
Give it to one of the other guys.
He goes, dude, I'm a manager here. I don't need that. And I looked at him,
That's
and now
tough.
holding $20 out for legitimately a
You
mile
look like an
ride.
asshole. You're
And I
like-
was like, oh, all right. So I was like, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I mean, it was like a whole thing. Like, he drove us. Like, we didn't have a ride over there. He's like, I'll bring you guys.
He
He was
basically was
working
like,
at the front door.
like, fuck you at that point.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
like, $20.
No, you
He
offended.
made me feel like an asshole.
How dare you?
I think he might be rich.
He said no to 20. That's a lot. Say no to $5 is one thing.
$20 for like
$20
$20 to drive.
It's crazy.
Dude, he
I was
was
just
like-
trying to do the right thing.
He was like, "Have you seen my salary, dude? You're gonna tip me."
He goes, "Are you insane?" He looked back at me. And he goes, "No." I was like, "Okay."
And meanwhile, he knew Riggs is the governor. He's like the mayor around. here.
Yeah.
Like he knew where it was. He's
He
like,
knew
I
where
know.
you
I know.
lived.
He's
Yeah.
like, I know where we're
I
going.
was like,
weird.
you know where? He's
I-
like, I know where I'm
He's
going.
like, I know where we're going.
I don't like that they do that.
Yeah.
I just
It was part of the tour. He told me. Yeah.
Oh, they point out your house?
just in general. Now I get that people are going to kind of figure it out or whatever because it's the Pinehurst is a small place. Whatever, they're going to figure it out. I don't love that.
We were just like, oh, we're going over to Riggs' house. And we're like, we
can
the
anybody.
address. He goes, nope. I already know where it is. And he's just like, was working at the.
That's a good point. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
We happen to be your co-host.
Yeah, true.
But it could be.
That's
like,
why I don't love it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go to. They're like, yeah.
Hopefully he knew, like you and I and Kirk, that we're part of foreplay going to his house.
He wasn't just like.
I think they did because
You guys know
he
any
had
homeless
said-
people we
Everyone
can take
know
with
where
us?
it is. That guy
Well,
needs to
because
start
we
taking
had
$20 because he's going to be fired soon because he can't just be dropping people off.
Originally, we had asked if the shuttle could bring us over here because we didn't have a ride. We're like, hey,
Which would have been insane in hindsight. Imagine
Maybe.
he's a stop on the shuttle.
They've done it before.
That's what you don't
What?
like.
Yeah. That I don't mind because it's usually like people or buddies that I know that are staying at the hotel.
Okay.
They
So
didn't
then-
rent a car, so they're like, "Can we just take the shuttle?" I'm like, "You can try it."
So
Have
they
you
said
had a
on-
stranger like just knock on the door and be like, "Hey"?
No, but I've had people steal my flag sticks that are on the putting green.
Yeah.
And I had people send, like, they'll tag me in a video or something of them, like, chipping or putting on the putting green. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's trespassing.
Legal,
technically, but, I mean, I'm not going to be the asshole. It's like, don't chip and putt on my putting green, then you're a dickhead. So
It is trespassing.
it's trespassing.
I think they knew that we were not murderers.
Hopefully.
My favorite Frankie, like, just general interaction with strangers is the Five Guys story.
Oh yeah. Well, that or the guy or the fucking the Delta person in San Francisco that was at the gate that asked me if I knew how to count.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh my god. Well, Five Guys one. Basically, I was like, "Can I?" You know how at Five Guys you have to put on your condiments.
Yeah.
So I say, "Could I get a cheeseburger, but just cheese, ketchup, and onions?" Right. And then he goes, "Well, do you want like the bun too?"
Oh, really?
And I go,
What is it about you?
and I go, "What the fuck?" I turn around, I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" So that was bad.
You got it. Now you got to tell the airline one.
Did you know any chance you knew who you were? Or no.
Oh, the guy was dead serious, wasn't he?
in
The Five
Manhattan.
Guy?
What did you say to him?
I was like, "Yeah, you fucking asshole. You fucking asshole."
The airline one is
That's very funny.
So the airline one,
He came back into the office like, you won't believe what just happened. Five Guys.
Height
This
of
guy's such an
COVID.
asshole.
height of COVID, we're coming back from San Francisco. Clearly, all the airlines had changed their policies. It was a time where where I didn't really realize, but they were going from back to front. Remember that on the planes?
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
loading back to front. So I was row 14, and I had heard them say, rows 15 through 20, you can now board. So I'm thinking in my head, oh, it's obviously just front to back. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. So I go up there and I'm row 14 and I go to hand it in. And the guy puts his hand on my chest and he goes, "Excuse me, sir, do you know how to read? Or do you know how to count? Do you know how to count?"
Wow.
And I have my AirPods on. I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Does 14 come before or after 15?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I go, "Before." And he goes, "Please step behind the gate." And I said, "Holy shit." So then when they called rows 10 through 4 or 9 through 14, I went up there and he goes, "Look who learned how to count." What the fuck is going on? I'm looking at him like, dude, I actually thought for a second I had to hit him.
Dude, I said that. I said that to you. I was like,
you
you
should
should
fucking face.
I was like,
Because you can't be like that,
Dude, I
don't
said
care
to you-
what lanyard you're wearing. You're not allowed to be.
because I was with you. I was with you. We got on the plane and I was like, it's crazy not taking you out of here in handcuffs because you got to punch that guy in the face.
I was maniacally laughing. I'm like, huh. Like what? I have to hit you. Like I looked at him like I have to hit you now.
Did you say it to him?
No.
Oh, you should.
I'm a huge pussy.
Imagine if you fucking knocked him out of the.
Oh, and then I'm in like federal prison.
Dude, that's bad. You can't do that.
Right? You can't assault. You can't assault anybody, but you can't assault.
I think at the airport it's
that's
federal.
like a federal employee,
Yeah, that's
right?
One time,
You
my
should have tried to tip him for letting you on the plane.
Dude,
What is it about you that gets us?
Probably I have a punchable pussy face.
Yeah, that
It's
might
just
be
people
it.
hate me.
Yeah, you can't do anything in the airport. One time we missed a flight,
True.
a buddy and I, and they had closed the door. You know, when they closed the door, and my friend just tried to open the door.
That's a
to
big
just,
no-no.
to just
The
walk
alarm
on the
goes
plane.
crazy.
There was an alarm that went off, and they ran over, and we had to be like, okay, we're not. So we had to talk our way out of that one.
You know what?
Yeah.
Today, Trent is like the nicest guy. Everyone says it's true. He's like the nicest guy. There was a guy there today when we were doing the matchups for today's round. This like sort of guy who was maybe a member of the club. I think was drunk and was asking me all these questions.
Yep.
Were you there for that or no?
I witnessed the whole thing, and
Okay.
I was wondering who was gonna sort of like have the dickhead response first, you or me, and it was you.
Well, he kept saying, he's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's Dave Portnoy." He's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's Dan Katz." He's like, who's that? I was like, do you want me
this
to
the guy
name?
yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I'm like, do you want me to name everybody in the world? And then
the guy didn't get it.
Shook your hand.
yeah, and then
He's like, I'm the.
he's like, but I want to, I'm going to introduce myself to her. I'm like, well, you can't do that, but I'm not going to stand here and list human beings for you. Like,
Did you say these things to him?
yes,
Yeah, the guy, after like the third one, he's pointing. He goes, "Oh, I know that guy for pizza. Who's that?" They put, "Hey, I know that guy." Kirk goes, "Do you want me to just name every person in the world?" And the guy didn't get it at all. He's like, "Nah, who's that?"
So 5 minutes later, I go get the drink, come back, and there's Trent just talking to the guy. Just
I talked to that guy for 5 minutes. I was like, I wish I had that in
almost
me.
to the point where I was like, oh shit, is that like a relative of Trent's? And I just
He's from Virginia.
I heard you talk about
I know everything about him.
See, I wasn't sure if you were gonna flip it on him because I was like, all right, I don't know how many times this guy he just kept saying the same question. I thought eventually you're gonna be like, hey, can you tell me who that is and point to his buddies or something?
I heard you talk about it though. The moment, the uncomfortable moment after you say that to him, you love.
Oh, I love that. I can honestly, like, I'm that close to ejaculating.
Right.
Yeah.
And that makes
I
me,
can
I'm
feel
the
it
other
on the tip of my
side of it.
penis.
I like have to avoid that feeling at all costs. But I
swim in
wish,
it, yeah.
I wish I had that in me.
Well, because it's just like, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm like, why? What are you doing? Like, I don't, I want to list everybody here. There's Jersey Jerry. Like, what do you want me to do?
What's it to you?
Yeah, I don't, like, it's not my job. And Rick's just sitting there like,
I was like, yeah.
Well, I was
from
waiting for it
Virginia?
because you played along for a while. I was like, Kirk's being really nice to this
2
guy, and
days.
then you hammered him with it. You just want me to name every person in the world?
but then there was Trent just like talking to the guy. I was like, I'm surprised he's not here. I was
I know. He's just, we're getting dinner later.
He's a
But.
good guy.
Our producer Kyle looks exactly like Trent. You ever notice that?
Yes.
Crazy to have two guys on the same team. That look
Kyle's
like
my
that.
guy.
Yeah.
He is your guy.
Yeah. Massive fan of the show.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Yeah,
He's going to
Huge
Plymouth,
fan
right?
Of,
Going live show on Plymouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
of the dozen too. You heard that he was one of the guys. You know the story behind
Well,
that?
I like Kyle, but I have a slight criticism about this. If I can tell you the story real quick. Kyle, I think might be one of these guys. I saw it where he's one of these guys like I get everything right when I watch a dozen. I'm like, of course, yeah. He's like, if I was on one of the teams, you saw this.
Oh yeah, the production team talk him up big time too.
Yeah.
They're all like, Kyle's probably the best actual dozen player like that there is.
Yeah, at the company. I'm like, oh, probably.
You have a response, Kyle?
In pop culture only. Sorry. Yeah, no, in pop culture only.
Not
No
sports?
sports. No sports.
You're not a sports guy?
No, I'm a big sports guy, but I follow the Jets and the Mets. Like I don't follow like
I just feel like everyone's
Major
an,
League
everyone's,
Baseball.
everyone's an armchair quarterback at the
Yep.
dozen. Everyone. And until you're in that moment, like when you don't know something, it's the loneliest feeling in the world.
Yeah.
I have a trivia question for you guys that I was asking at the Barstool Classic. Trent, you can't answer this because you know the answer.
Yeah.
There are 6 professional sports teams that share their name with another professional sports teams.
Oh, see, I'm not good at stuff like that.
Giants.
Yep.
Cardinals?
Yep.
Eagle? Nope, there's no Eagles.
How were you doing there? It was Jared.
Jets.
Oh, when it,
Oh,
Ooh, I
fuck
would have
that.
never got Jets.
Kings?
Hockey, yeah.
Kings?
Kings is a hard one.
LA guy.
You got 4. 2 more out there. Nope.
Nope.
What other sons?
How do you get one wrong? I get not being able to come up with them, but I don't. It'd
Panthers?
be like if I said Avalanche.
Panthers is the
Yeah,
5th one. You got one more out there.
No, there's not.
Carolina.
Dan.
Come on, Dan. One more, baby.
Panthers
There's people
was
listening
huge.
to this just screaming the 6th one.
We had a guy at the Barstool Classic, well, you think, who, because we've been asking groups all day, and there's 4 guys in a group, and it took, most guys would tee off, we'd have to give them a couple answers. One guy got them all right in a row.
It's not.
New York Rangers.
Oh,
Texas Rangers.
Nice work.
I was
Yep.
thinking Hawks.
3 of them in New
but
York.
Blackhawks.
I guess we're
doesn't
just
count.
not like, I don't know. Oh, obviously New York probably came up with them first. Older teams.
Obviously.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Before the Texas Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Winnipeg Jets, yeah. And the Giants for sure. The Peas.
You're not like huge. You don't get a lot of the sports ones though, right?
I'm pretty good with like a certain, like before.
Golf,
like,
I feel like
yeah,
you're good.
golf for sure.
Golf, you nail.
Before like 2000, yeah, I'm pretty good like selectively, but like modern, not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
You have like a disability when it comes to your master's knowledge.
It's just, that means everything to me.
Yeah,
means
it doesn't
everything.
matter. Like to be able to retain some of that's insane. You can name
1981.
every single
1980 was Sevy, 82 was Stadler, was 81 Watson? Is that right?
I don't know.
everyone's checking their phones.
I got no idea.
Is that your final answer?
It's good. 81 was a good poll because you know that's a tough one to get.
Yeah.
I don't. 81. I
83
would have
Sevy,
no
80
clue.
Sevy, 79's Fuzzy. Watson didn't win again. I would say that would be
79
Watson.
was the last guy to win it on his first try.
Fuzzy, yeah.
That was 79.
Yeah.
Watson.
Pretty fucking good, man.
Attaboy.
To be put on the spot like that is crazy.
And to like that, not one that you knew off the top, but you got there. That was
81's a
huge.
weird one.
You do it where like you do the guys that are around it. Like you.
If I don't think of it, yeah, because he's got to be.
Yeah.
Because I knew Watson didn't win after like say 84,
Right.
where Crenshaw won. Because then it's like longer. Nicholas, Mize,
Faldo.
fellows later. Lyle still, yeah, and then you have the other two Faldo ones, and then Woosnam, then Freddie.
As this was happening in real time, were you so ingrained in the Masters, or is this like later in life you went back and did like?
I think wasn't super into golf until like I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like Freddie's Masters, like the first one I was super. I remember watching Jack as a kid with my dad, but yeah, I was so jealous. See, my dad's gone. I was so jealous. I was happy for you guys getting to do that with your dad. Was great. That was great. Oh, I loved watching that. That was
a good one.
fantastic.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
That is lovely.
You have to be an asshole about it. It was a great experience.
I agree.
Oh, forget it. Just because you want to bring your dad to it, there's a different experience. It doesn't matter.
The exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, created by fans for fans. Game time. We love going to shows. Alex Bush, massive Swiftie. I'm a big Swiftie. Point is, going to shows is as good as it gets.
Have you figured out a way to go to the Eras Tour yet?
I went.
You did?
I went a couple weeks ago.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go?
I went in Pittsburgh.
How was it?
Phenomenal.
Amazing.
Phenomenal.
Everything you wanted it to be?
Yeah, I was a little bit overwhelmed at the sheer might of the Swifties.
It was just like a little bit much.
They just, and I got to be really, you got to tread lightly here because they're such a dominant force. They're like water. Like you just can't stop water.
Yeah.
Water.
Nothing you can do.
Right. And to the point where, my friend that I went with got banished from the men's restroom.
Why?
The Swifties had overtaken the men's restroom. Yeah. And we're not allowing him to use
Two ladies'
the
rooms?
men's restroom.
Yeah.
It just became another women's restroom, which there's so many females there that I get it. I totally understand. And my boy came back to the seats just scarred. It's like, you just won't believe what happened. We were like, you were gone for quite a while. He goes, yeah, I haven't peed. I still have to go to the bathroom so badly. Like, what do you mean? He's like, they kicked me out of the men's restroom.
So they wouldn't even let him in.
He tried to reason with them and said,
This is the men's room.
he tried to reason with them, and I guess and again, shout out to Game Time because going to events is great. You get stories like this. You have amazing experiences. Download the Game Time app. Go to the website and enter your email. Redeem code FORE for $20 off your first purchase. Open parenthesis, terms apply, close parenthesis. So what happened was he went to the bathroom, came back, and he's like, I literally was in line, and I realized what was going on, that they had overtaken my restroom, so I'm in line, and I said, there's no way they're using the urinals, because it's females that have overtaken the men's restroom. So he goes up, and he goes, I'm just going to use the urinal while you guys are in line for the stall.
Nope.
And they put a blockade of people up, and we're like, no, sir, that's going to, like, ruin our whole experience of you just peeing while we're in line trying to go to the stall. He's like, this is my bathroom.
Unbelievable.
Anyways, came back, he ended up not being able to go. Point is, the show was off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts. We had this guy in front of us that he was the biggest trooper I've ever seen in my life. I don't even think he knew Taylor Swift was playing. He was just filming his girlfriend enjoying Taylor Swift the whole time and like kind of half singing along to the songs. And then when she would look up, whatever, he would look back at us and give us the thumbs down of like, I'm not here for the music. I'm just filming because my girl wants me to film. And he was like, but he was a beauty in it. And he would like chug his beer and give us like so he was having a good time. Anyways, going to events is fun. Get outside the house. The whole reason that you work, that you grind, that you make money, that you do the Monday through Friday is so that you can enjoy things in life like going to events. Takes a couple seconds, taps, a couple taparoos on the Game Time app, and you end up getting whatever tickets to concerts, comedy shows, games, baseball's going on, go to the ballpark, whatever. Download the Game Time app, go to the website, enter your email, redeem code FORE for $20 off your first purchase.
Why didn't you go to Rapport's wedding?
Good question.
I had an event.
In Chicago.
In Chicago?
Yeah, I admitted that.
But you could have gone. What time was the wedding, Dan?
6:30.
6:30.
Party started at like 8:30.
Were you actually hurt that he didn't go to your wedding?
Surprised.
Hurt.
No.
Surprised, but
I'll say this.
There's no way your wedding was changed.
It meant a lot that Trent and Frankie flew in. I thought that was super nice.
yeah. Like if they were in town, you'd be like, what the fuck? If they weren't at your wedding.
I would notice it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed.
You got to go to everybody you work with's wedding now?
You work with
You
like three,
hired
you work
me.
with like 3 people.
I understand that, but like that's a like
What did you think of that?
Dave hired me, I wouldn't have to like go to his wedding. You know,
If
what I'm
Dave
saying?
hired you to his wedding,
I
you'd
think
go.
like
If you were in town. You were in the same town.
in town, like I do think that the culture of like having to go to the wedding is like I think you're able to kind of stop in and like give your like you could have stopped in and had like a drink and been like
Yeah, that was a dick
congratulations,
move.
give a
Which
hug.
I was planning on doing Thursday.
What
I
happened?
flew in early to come in and do that.
What happened?
We just didn't really like go out on Thursday.
That's not his fault.
Right, but he texted me. Right, but he texted me that night.
What are you rolling your eyes
Hey,
at?
Sorry, like.
Well, yeah, he's trying to turn it into my fault.
No, but I'm saying
I
that
don't want
I
to take
had-
his side on it,
but
but
I'm
I'm
saying-
with him on this one.
What I'm saying is I had planned that, being like, dude, I'm not going to be able to make a thing, but I would love to come in Thursday night if you guys are doing something. He's like, okay, great, we're
Yeah,
going
but
to
he's not do his whole wedding meal around when you fly in to have a
No,
drink.
but I had basically said like I would love to come do that. I was planning to do that, so it didn't work
all
out.
in all, it was probably an hour that you could have been like, I'm here in a suit.
You're a dick.
Congratulations.
It's fine. I
I'm heading back out.
do.
Then you're just doing it for like
I wouldn't
a
go either. I'm
bullshit
just
reason that we all bitch about in life in general, anyways, which is like go put on a suit so you
You
can
hired the
technically
man.
go
I
and
mean,
show up
it
and
seems
say
like it's a-
hello.
But if
That's
you
not
were
going to
like-
change anybody's night at all. That's like doing
You're just
something
saying that
just to
you would have
claim
done
he
that
did
just
it.
to do it, but I'm saying like if you were genuinely like happy for him to like show up and say congratulations, but I got a jet, that would have been different.
But
What
like
you're saying is correct. Like you shouldn't have just showed
Is
up.
that why you basically
That's
were
what I'm
like?
saying.
Is
That's
that
like
basically why
crazy.
you were so upset? You're like, fuck it, I'll just wear these shoes. Is that was?
Yeah, that's what it was. I had another
don't
pair
blame
of shoes if he
you.
was
I don't
going to be
blame you.
there.
I don't blame you.
But
It was a great wedding.
yeah, thank you.
It really was.
was really
We had a
nice.
great time.
Yeah, put you guys
Nice
at
you
the
guys
golf
to go.
table. There's
Yeah,
some
no, it
golf
was
a lot of good golfers
We had a
at
good
that
table.
table.
Yeah.
Were you with Bob Harrig?
No.
Bob Eric.
Fucking
Bob's
Wolf Blitzer was
Wolf
there.
Blitzer was
Bob's
there.
the nicest guy
Blitzer was
ever.
there?
Yes.
Fucking
Yeah.
Wolf Blitzer was
What's
there.
the connection there?
So my brother,
Crazy.
my brother's wife's are they're like best family friends with the Blitzers. So
Oh, really? So he
they've
was there?
become like friends with. My
I didn't
parents.
know he was there.
Did you meet him?
And then
I actually
no.
interned for him also when I was in college.
I didn't know he was there, and then the dance, like the reception part of the wedding started, and I just looked up on the dance floor, and it was fucking Wolf Blitzer.
The time
And
I
wasn't
locked
even-
eyes with him was when Daniel was getting tossed on top of a chair, and as he got raised on the
You
chair,
saw
Wolf Blitzer was underneath the chair view, and I was just staring
felt
at
like
him.
I was stoned. I was like,
so
I can't
weird.
believe Wolf Blitzer's here.
It was
no,
cool,
it was a great
though.
wedding. Great
Yeah,
wedding.
and I set that set the bar high, man. That was a good wedding.
Thank you.
you're next, Frank.
I know.
What
I
is it,
asked him for his
12
like, playlist.
days or something?
I asked him for his playlist for the band. It was
I
so
saw this
good.
last night. Yeah,
It was great.
Yeah, it was good. How you feeling?
Good.
You look good.
Appreciate that. Drinking a lot of water.
I feel like the big hat's
More
actually a
sugar.
sneaky blessing for you,
Huge.
theoretically.
We wore big hats today.
maybe we did. Maybe we
Maybe.
did. I
But I'm
did.
saying to not get sunburned before the wedding.
I was a little nervous about coming down to Pinehurst 2 weeks before. I'm a very fair-skinned person. I can get embarrassingly bad, like tan lines, bad sunburns, where I peel like crazy. And I'm like, shit, man. Like leading up into this thing, I cannot believe we're down here in 100-degree weather. And then theoretically, our captain just came up with like safari hats as the joke, and I was like, this is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
because my face was just completely covered.
Theoretically, one team is like a team.
Team, yeah.
Yeah,
The
one
other
team is
team
not.
isn't much of a team.
Theoretically, yeah. Like
Well,
really fractured.
just a
Depends
lot
on
of-
depends on who you're talking to. Theoretically,
Yeah.
No, sure. No, I understand.
from one theoretical vantage point, that's true.
From the captain of that team, theoretically, just saying it to me after.
There's a lot of theories around here
It's true.
at
Yeah.
this time.
After a theoretical lunch that group had, I think it's in a better spot. But
So Frankie and Trent, by the way, keep in mind a couple of things about me. I am the all-time leading scorer in trivia over 3 seasons by about. It's like Tiger. Remember Tiger the world ranking? He was like the highest. Like
Double everybody else.
yeah. I have never been asked once ever as a phone a friend on trivia ever, not once. I'm good friends with Dan Katz. I have never been on Part of My Take, not one time. Dan Rappart's been like 40 times.
Twice.
50, 60 times. Yeah. I've never been on, which is fine. I not a big deal. Frankie and Trent are on tonight. Mm-hmm. Sort of, they want the sort of the alpha foreplay guys, I think, the 1 and 2 guys. And you were not asked to. Sources have told me.
I've also never been on. So
Is that
Dan's
true?
been on. Now these two guys.
no, that's not true. You and I were on
When?
when we were in a car. We were driving somewhere. It was Masters Week.
And we were on for the Masters.
Yeah, it was a weird
Okay.
appearance because we're just yelling into our phone. This was early days.
You guys were on too not that long ago.
Frank and I were, yeah.
What? So what do you guys? They just want to talk golf and stuff, or
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
What did we, yeah, I think
What's that about? I mean, what's that about?
I don't know. You'd have to ask
Is
Parmentier.
that upsetting you or no?
I mean, I would like to know probably why. I'm not on the show.
Yeah, I'm there's no reason for me to be on the show, but it's weird. I'm good friends with Dan. I'm happy to go on any, whatever. That's the other thing. I was in the car yesterday driving back. Were you in the car during this? Oh, yeah, because we got lost, the 3 of us, for fucking 3 hours. I'm in the car. I'm like, yeah, I might do a show. I don't know Francis at all. I'm like, yeah, I might do a show here tomorrow. Francis is like, oh, I'll come on. What the fuck are you talking about? You'll come on. Like, what is it?
I did hear him say
I
that.
was like, up his services.
You just ignored him.
Yeah, well,
He actually didn't respond.
well, it's a weird thing because it's like, well, what if I don't want to have you on? Not that,
Yeah, that was weird.
It's just a weird. I
Yeah,
don't
because
like-
if
So
you
is he
go
coming
like,
on?
nah.
no, certainly not.
It's a dark energy when he's on the podcast. Things just come out that they don't usually come out. You know,
I'll never come on again then, Frankie. What the
I
fuck do you
love
want me
it.
to do? What do you want me to do? You asked me to
I
come
live
on.
in this.
You
I-
asked me to come on.
I live
Rich
in
didn't want
this.
me on. You asked me to come
You
on.
don't think I live in
That's a
this
lie.
shit? I love this shit.
Okay, I'm just no dark energy. I
No,
we're
it's
friends here.
good. It's
Dan
like,
Rapport and I right now, I think, are in a good place.
I don't know about that.
I feel like you're trying to play something up that doesn't really exist.
But by the way, you doing
Pre-show.
that is weird of all the people in this room. If you think about it, theoretically,
Why? Me?
theoretically, for you to try and break.
Oh, theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically.
Oh yeah, I see that.
We're in a good spot theoretically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have some sort of? Is there some sort of short-term memory issue with you? Did something happen as a kid?
I did. I searched up Lyme disease last night,
Don't do that.
and
Don't,
one of them
don't
is
do that.
memory loss.
Don't do that.
Joint
Don't-
pain.
don't do
and
that.
you can't process
You get a
red
tick
meat.
or
and
something?
I shit my pants last night.
Is that
fucking
one-
eating
did you-
steak? I just went right through me.
Oh, the steak last night. Then?
Yeah.
Did you get a tick or something? Or you
Maybe I wear pants so much I probably wouldn't even notice.
See, why did your? I feel like
Don't
Lyme
ever
disease
search
is something
those
that happens
things.
when a tick
Never.
happens. Why did you go to Lyme disease?
Because I searched can't process red meat, and one of them was like, "Have you gotten a tick bite recently?" This is a new thing. I can't.
Is it been the consistent thing lately with the red meat?
Oh
or
yeah,
no?
I got to
Oh,
run
really?
straight to the bathroom.
Really?
It's crazy,
Could be Lyme disease.
dude. I was thinking like easily could have gotten something somewhere that I don't even look at my legs in the shower. Might as
Long
well wear
Island, I think they're
sweatpants in
bad
there.
too.
Huh?
Long Island, I think they're bad.
Really bad.
Like in the fescue.
Would
Oh,
I have
is that
felt
right?
it,
Yeah, it's
though?
true.
I probably would have felt it. Maybe
No,
not.
not
though.
really.
I'm telling you, there's a chance. And then after 2 weeks, they die off, and you just never know they were there.
Daryl Hall had it bad. Like fucked him up. From all
Jimmy
Jimmy
Walker.
Walker.
Jimmy Walker.
Yes,
Could
right.
Could be
Yeah.
my, and memory
Yes, it
loss
does.
is one of
Substantive.
Yes.
Show.
Do you guys wash your legs?
In the shower.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I kind of let the.
them. Yeah.
I'm with you.
I
I
let
don't
the momentum
actively
kinda
go down
go.
and wash them.
I'm with you.
I do.
You spend a lot. So what's the shot like? That's interesting. I'm trying to think. Like I just took a great shower. You did too.
Fantastic.
Great shower after.
Good pressure.
Good. I'm not like other. I'm not going to say bigger people at the company were complaining about this. I have had no issues.
How much do you hate where the knob is where you have to reach in and then
Yeah, because I do the. I dart. I try.
I aim the head away.
What kind of assembly
Who
is
designed that? Who designed?
Why
that?
would you? So
It
at some of these hotels, they have a fixed
What is it?
glass
The
that
glass
won't
thing.
open, so you have to lean around it. So like I could understand that if both
If it
sides
opens,
of them
yeah.
open, then I can just get underneath. But you're forcing me to now face the faucet and then reach under it, put it on, and then it just hits you in the face.
Dude,
it's crazy.
I get in and I move.
Same.
Move the head towards the
Just
wall.
an extra move that
What
should
per-
never happen.
What
For
percentage of the time in the shower do you spend back to the water?
I was
Versus
going to ask
facing
you
the
guys.
water?
95.
95 back?
Exclusively back.
Oh,
I'm
I'm the
I'm 95
other.
front.
I'm not that much, but I'm like probably
Do you go
60 front.
Do you go body wash or shampoo first?
I don't do a lot of shampoo with my hair. I throw. I'm not a. I'm
body
I'm
wash.
mostly
I
water.
go shampoo
just-
first.
yeah,
You
same.
just don't
No
believe
one
it?
conditioners, right? Do you condition?
I condition, yeah.
Well, you got like thicker hair.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's go back to front. So I would say 80% of my time, probably more, looking at the wall.
Where does it hit? Like in your chest?
Yeah,
That's me right
yeah,
here.
like,
You just
yeah,
look at it and
yeah.
just-
I saw some
Yeah.
graphic that I think like females look at the water more and males have their back to it.
And I
don't know what the
and I
science behind it.
sing
It's
more.
I don't know.
I sing more when I'm facing it because like a microphone. Like I do because I sing the shower almost every time.
And there's an echo for
Yeah, like I did
facing the
I did
water.
like a great 3-song set.
yeah,
I sang
acoustics
the
What
shower.
was
are
the
amazing.
set? What was
Yeah,
the
it was
set?
Springsteen set. I did the river. I did Racing the Street. And then I'll do this sometimes. I will actually do this sometimes. I said this before. I'll get out of the shower with the thing still going down, almost like it's an encore, and I'll come back in.
No, come on.
That's
Kirk.
dead. I'm like, you guys want one more?
That is a showman, ladies and gentlemen.
You have a flair for the dramatic.
venue wants us off, but we ain't fucking leaving.
That's right. That's right.
Put your cell phone light on.
That's it. That's it. I do that.
That back to front thing is interesting to me. I would have never back 95% of the time. I don't even know how do you even do that?
Yeah, I'm a front guy. I face
I
it.
gotta see that graphic because I might have it backwards.
Yeah, I like to kind of go like this, like lean my head back and let it wash over me. I kind of
could
go
see
this
that.
way, like yeah.
But you're right. That is weird in that shower. It's weird, but because it's just straight. It's a weird design.
Yeah,
It's like purposely designed.
they
that
just
way.
messed up.
Do you guys play like you obviously sing, but I think my brain has been so ruined by content that I can't even shower without a podcast on.
podcast.
Really? It must
Yeah.
be loud, no?
Yeah, you put it in the put it in the sink and you get the natural amphitheater. A lot of Colin Coward.
You listen to Colin Coward, right?
Colin Coward, yeah. You like Colin Coward?
I don't like Colin Coward.
You can't
biggest
shave
He
without
listens to him
listening.
in the shower.
What's that?
He listens to Colin Coward in the shower.
Well, also
Really?
when I'm driving and I listen to Colin Coward every day.
Oh yeah, he's a drip.
You can't shave without listening to music.
Yeah, or a podcast or something. Yeah, it's sort of comforting. I don't know why. Although
Helps you
I nick
focus.
myself shaving
Helps you
it.
focus.
That's true. I think so. Yeah. Shaving, I've gotten like I have a complicated relationship with it. It's just I wish I didn't have to do it.
I don't have to really do it.
How often do you have to shave?
I have like an electric one because I don't actually grow facial hair, so I just like buzz it whenever I want.
Yeah,
Sometimes it gets bad, but that's just me being lazy.
What's your relationship? Why is it complicated with shaving?
because it's a whole because the way I am, I can be sort of OCD. Like if I shave, and even like if I'm like out a couple hours later, I feel like I missed a spot. Right, it drives me fucking nuts.
Have you ever had a beard?
No, I had a mustache a couple of years ago. It was bad. I don't have a great face for that.
It must be Big Cat asking me to come on the show.
Who's here?
It's Brendan Jones.
Brendan
Brendan
Jones.
Hey, B. Jones. What up?
Does this upset you or no?
I wouldn't say it upsets me.
You seem a little up.
Well, part of me takes a big show. I think it'd be nice to be on it. They're huge. Credit to them.
They're great. I'm like I said, great friends with Dan. You know, if
Okay,
you want me to text him for you, or I could do that.
No, then it's Fran. You need to Francis me. Where it's like,
I'm just saying. I mean, if you want to do a spot with Trent and Frank, I think it'd be great.
shut. Imagine if I text Big Cat. I was like, I'd love to come on. He'd be like, no. Yeah, we're just like not gonna have you on.
Hey, we're not doing anything tonight.
Yeah,
get a text, like,
we're
you
just going to
guys
dinner.
actually
Actually,
want to
I'm like, no, I just dropped Frankie and Trent off. I gave him a microphone.
So what do we have a dinner tonight?
At the brewery.
Yeah, Pinehurst Brewery.
Tonight, nice.
I love this area.
And then we're here tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dinner
you're having
tomorrow
the whole
night.
squad here.
Yeah, hosting everybody here.
You might want to be careful. People know where you live. You know,
People are gonna
with
show up
the-
and be like, "Oh, he's having a party."
Yeah.
Well, this will come out Thursday.
Okay.
luckily.
Oh, it's Tuesday. That's
point.
right.
Yeah.
Good point.
We're recording this day early.
Yeah, we're recording a little early.
Are we doing our
Shut
thing
up.
here tomorrow?
Shut the fuck up, Bush.
Are we doing our thing here tomorrow?
You're so happy.
Yeah, we probably should.
All right, I might do my show here tomorrow. I guess maybe I don't know
You're
Great.
so happy.
because we don't start till later.
We'll do gambling here. Do you have like somebody that's going to help you with the production? One of these guys can do it.
I think it's Colony. I don't know.
We can go grab one of the sales guys. There's 20 of them. That they could just turn on, hit a button.
Circle back.
Yeah, big circle back crew, Barstool Beast. Oh, fucking
What a
Christ.
show, man. This has
Circle
been
back
great.
Q3. You know,
Yeah.
see where we're at Q3.
If you suffer from these symptoms of ADHD, lack of focus, no productivity, your brain is constantly wandering, we've all been there before, you need to check out Proper Wild's Clean All Day Energy Shots. This stuff is, it's phenomenal. One, in that it works. It gives you energy. We all need energy. We all crave it. It's so easy to get down, to be sad, to not have an energetic approach to this or that, or to a meeting, or you're making fun of your own company. You don't want to go to any of this stuff. You can do energy shots, and people have known about energy for a long time, ways to get it. But the best part about Proper Wild, it uses organic caffeine stacked with Kirk, how do you say this? Is it theanine or
What's the word I need?
Theanine or theanine?
THEANINE.
Theanine.
What? There. There are 19. I'm just going to spell it. L dash capital T HEANINE, which has clinically been shown to boost your energy, focus, and productivity without the jitters or crash! Exclamation point. No preservatives, no artificial sweeteners, no horrible chemicals, just a natural tasting energy shot with clean ingredients that work. Go to properwild.com/barstool. And Trent and Frankie rave about this. This was instrumental. I believe they came on for Breaking 90 for a little bit for, I think, a couple of Frankie's videos, and they were raving about it. They were texting our group, being like, this stuff's amazing, and apparently it's good for you. It is, because they've got that L-theanine that we talked about earlier. So go to properwild.com/barstool to try Proper Wild at 30% off.
That's a good deal.
I wonder if they mistyped that. 30% seems like a lot. That's properwild.com/barstool. Try Proper Wild for 30% off.
Theanine.
Why do you like the Masters so much? You love the Masters.
It's just different, you know. It's just a different experience. It's not like anything else, especially after you've been there. Then it becomes even like more. I have such a connection to it. It's like, you know, I like everything else, but it just like the U.S. Open this year sucked. I'm sorry, it just sucked.
I agree.
There was nothing against the course. The course was fine. Didn't translate that well on TV. Like you got all the writers were like talking about how wonderful. I totally get that. I understand that, but it felt like
It was a garden party.
It's like an elevated event, sort of.
No,
like,
not
during
even.
COVID. You know, with
Travelers was way more lit than the U.S.
I'm saying
Open.
with like a COVID crowd. Like there just wasn't. You
I
know,
haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'll and they're gonna bring it back. I mean, I'll be like 80 at that point.
Because the
They're gonna do
USGA
it-
made so
It was
much
cash
money.
cow 'cause of
They
LA,
made
right?
so much money.
It was the first tee was depressing. There were more
Really
people on our
depressing.
first tee today.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it was depressing.
It was tough.
That's going to be their model, I think, closer to going forward too, which stinks. Like corporatize.
well, they use it to fund everything else, you know?
make more money, and that stinks.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And they got to stop running out. Stop, enough of these commercials where it's like, this is the toughest test in the world. It's like, well, no, either make it that way or no.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm old school. I don't mind where they just get the shit kicked out of them, like +6 wins. Give it
I
to me.
love that.
Give it
It's
to
one
me.
tournament a year.
Yeah, but then you can't have like guys shooting 62 and have that commercial 50 times with Jack and all these other guys. It doesn't work that way.
The
Golf's
average when
toughest test. It's like he's got this putt for his 61.
Where are you at on Azinger?
I mean, you know, that was a rough scene. That was a rough scene. But I kind of like how crazy he is.
that's Trent's take.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah, I heard you say it's just funny to me. It's just
Yeah, it's like I don't need a perfect golf broadcast.
Yeah, it
if
doesn't-
if there's going to be some moments that I can laugh at because Paul Azinger is denying reality,
Right.
and just not what he's seeing is not what's going
Ball's
on.
gonna stop on that show.
It's the best. I don't. It doesn't hurt my day. It makes my day better.
He's
Now
literally-
the ball's
literally
gonna
like-
come to a rest.
He's just
right
going to
here.
miss the slope there, unfortunately. It's a
Ball's
good
not
try.
coming down
It's
that
like before the show, I was like, I have to
It's almost
explain
in
to
the
people
hole.
like there's literally no chance he's gonna get this within 15 feet. And I was like, I've been watching this all week. It's not that tough a shot. Like it's
As the ball was rolling the hole, he goes, and then you're gonna see here. It's just gonna stop right here. He actually
right by
said
it.
it's about to finish rolling, and then just kept going.
I've said this before.
It's just not quite going to catch the slope.
You guys,
It's at the bottom of the slope.
you all like him. I like him. We're friends on Twitter. It still feels to me that like Trevor Immelman is like Jim Nance's like son a little bit.
Really?
He hasn't like expanded that personality where he feels like Azinger feels like he has a big personality. Johnny Miller, my favorite,
The best.
had a big personality. Like, you know, I'm not with Immelman. He's like very polite.
How'd you feel about Faldo?
Not great, but it still felt like he was his broadcast. Like,
Sure.
you know, like now I feel like Immelman is sort of just kind of, you know, that's my one announcer take. My other announcer take is the other announcers. For some reason, I don't know him. I think he's probably a nice guy. The other announcer's like no sell Colt Nose like there's no tomorrow. It's very weird. It's like it's a group text they all have where they don't like him or something. I don't get. He'll try to make a joke and like Frank Nobel will be like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you doing that?
I think they're intimidated by him.
Just fuck around with him. It's not that hard.
No. It's like when people when your followers call into radio shows and people just hang up on them and refuse to
Right,
play along.
yeah.
That sounds like that's sort of
Yeah.
what they're doing to Colt.
Yeah.
Because I think Colt's fantastic on there. and
It's just
he's-
I agree. He's different. I like it. It's like it's a different thing going on.
Yeah, he's witty. He's busting balls, and those guys.
I'm worried that Immelman's not going to make it in the long run.
You think so?
No, I think that's wrong.
I like him. I want it, but I just feel like he's trying too hard to be. And the
I
other
think
thing is,
he's like
it's
perfectly
also
playing his role next to Jim.
it's also weird that he has a brother who sounds exactly like him on the broadcast. Like sometimes I'm like, who is that? Which one is that? No,
I don't know. I think he's got momentum.
I hope so. I like
He's
him.
starting to get those again, those sites that sort of cover sports media. They're like, wow, Trevor Immelman's kind of the darling right now. They like
Yeah,
where
they
it's
like him.
going.
Yeah, he's good. He's not good. It's just like I feel like.
I also
he's-
think he'll be better in like a Nance
Without-
role.
I think he'll be better when Nance is gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I think like him being the lead guy that like kicks off the coverage and we hear from him.
He's not going to
close
be
out
the
day.
play-by-play guy. That's like a professional. That's like a whole different
I
thing.
would love to have him be.
No,
the
but it's
main
like
guy.
Dan Hicks. It's like that's
Right.
like a
when Nance is
different
gone, they're
role.
going to replace him with like the guy.
But
who
I know.
feels, yeah.
I guess what I would agree with you, Frankie, in that once Nance is such an iconic figure
Right,
that it was almost impossible for Immelman to come in and be on the same level as Nance.
Yeah.
Because
well, yeah, but
Jim fucking Nance.
But if they had like hired Phil like 3 years ago, like we had talked about, then it would have been different. Like Immelman's like a different. He's another guy.
You
that
can
kinda
bring
lost
in a
his game.
play-by-play guy. I'm saying like Immelman should be the guy.
Right, and that's what Kirk's saying is that it felt like Johnny Miller was the guy. Or
It didn't matter if it was Dick Enberg or Dan Hicks. Like it was Miller's. Like the other announcers would all ask Johnny questions running around. Like they'd be like, "What do you think of this, Johnny?"
Yeah,
Johnny
it's
B,
like-
I guess not that hard of a shot. I've done it before.
Yeah,
I think
Shot
everyone,
62 at Oakmont.
everyone in the world would be kind of walking on eggshells stepping into the booth of Jim Nance. Like it's his booth, you know what I mean? Like,
remember
you can't
when-
be there.
yeah.
You can't come in and be like, "It's my fucking show."
Remember on Saturday in 2008 at Torrey Pines and Tiger chipped in on 17?
Yeah.
There's an all-time call where the Tiger's like trying to take a stance because he was between the green and the bunker on that steep upslope. And he's like trying to take a stance, and they're all setting it up, and they're like, this looks like a really hard spot with his knee. And Johnny just goes, "It's not that hard of a shot."
I was hard on Johnny.
He's my favorite announcer of all time.
I was hard on him because I was one of the bozos, one of the idiots that got caught up in like, he shouldn't be fucking, like, come on, man, like, this is a hard shot. But once, if you take a step back, and I feel that way about who were we just talking about? Oh, Azinger.
Right.
Then I feel like you can kind of see it, and it's like, oh, it's kind of fucking funny when they do that.
I miss Johnny Miller. It's just not the same.
Oh,
It was great.
Nance has got to be. He just did his last March Madness, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got to be coming.
He's
to
getting
an
up there. I mean,
next couple of years.
same age as Freddie, basically.
He's
Went to
got a
school.
palace at Pebble Beach. He's definitely doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
So
my favorite.
We got an email from Barstool.
Okay.
Facial treatments. 30-minute
Oh my God,
mini
we did.
facial treatment, exfoliation, cleanses, moisturizes, and ends
I could
with a
use
short
that. I got Mount
massage.
Vesuvius on my
When?
face right
June
now.
28th from 10 a.m. to 4:30. Where? 3rd floor, back room by the couches.
Go sell something. Just sell
I
fucking
just-
sell something. Sell
I don't know
something.
how it got this way. I don't know.
size.
Who's signing up to
Size.
get their faces exfoliated?
I remember when we
at
first
Barstool?
got one of those emails like that where it was like, come get a massage upstairs. I thought it was Dave fishing for people to be like, sign up for
Remember
this
when
and
he
you're
did that with
fucking out of
Miami?
here.
Yes, that's right.
Come down to
I
Miami.
might have to tweet this out again. What the
I mean, I
fuck
feel like
is
it's
this?
changed a shitload in like the 4 years I've been here. Like
Yeah,
4
yeah.
years ago, I've been like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That old office, man. If someone even thought about getting exfoliated inside that place,
No
Dave even-
exfoliation allowed.
So Dave
our
doesn't even know
pores
this
were
is
clogged as
happening, right?
fuck, dude.
I don't know.
No.
No
I would,
chance,
the
right?
only thing that happened like that at the old office, and it wasn't even really like that, was, hey, we got a tattoo guy coming in. So if you want to get something on your arm, you feel free to
Had
do
to
it.
be the
stool and
purple
stars.
starfish, or it had to be the stool and
I
stars.
remember Andrew Manley, the tech guy, got like a big Irish flag on his arm or something.
right.
And it was just like, it's gotten to a strange place, but I guess
Definitely. Yeah.
But there are moments like today, though, where you're like, okay, you would not do this anywhere else.
No.
No.
Like, like there's no job where you're going to do what we did today.
No.
no, it's still the best job in the world.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's actually fun to watch it turn into this because we could still be who we are.
Right.
And just like laugh at that.
Right.
But it's only fun if for people that have whatever you want to call it, the thick skin, or you can take it, because otherwise, to bring it to Francis again, like I think he does
Theoretically.
struggle with moments
Yeah.
like where it's like, dude, what the fuck? I was supposed to be golfing this is like a golf buddies trip, right? It's like, well,
But nobody thought that. Like, nobody
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
that. You're nuts if you thought that.
There was a kid that I used to work with, Bailey B.W. Carlin. Do you know what I'm talking about?
He used to work at Barstool.
Yeah, and he can. I don't think mentally
Yeah, I think he loved
he could do it.
Yeah.
No.
You have to.
Nice kid, but yeah.
you have to have a certain thickness.
For sure.
it's not easy.
Yeah,
Especially when you
Riggs about to go cry in the bathroom. He's not pardon my take, but yeah, he's a tough guy. He's fucking broken in half.
I am
Can't wait to
curious.
listen
I'm
tomorrow
curious about where they drew.
Well, it's Mount Rushmore week, and they want the two Mount Rushmore guys from this
Oh,
podcast.
okay.
It is. We are in Mount Rushmore season.
Yeah, I would think it's probably you two, I would guess. Dan asked me, and I was like, well, I'd go with those two guys. We have fucking Riggs on?
Yeah,
he's too nuanced. You can't have that.
Yeah.
It's a bro podcast.
So there's no laughing. All right. Yeah, we got to tighten this up. Pardon my takes coming up quickly.
We got to get over there.
You don't want to be late. You don't want to be late.
Huge.
It's a big spot for you. You
It's
never know.
huge.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, what Rick said before, they are the biggest.
You guys just say hi for me.
Yeah. I mean, are we supposed to be like, we're not doing it until.
No, I'm not. I want
Well,
you guys to do
you
it.
know, I don't
It's
know.
good promotion.
I want you guys to do it.
It's the biggest.
They're massive.
I agree. Yeah, it's telling you who they would go with in the big spot.
They're fucking huge.
They're just
man.
right down
and they
the
don't
street.
stop. Dan Katz does not stop. He
It's
just,
like bordering on unhealthy, where it's
he
like,
doesn't stop.
Yeah.
3
I
kids
was
now.
in for a Rangers Devils
He's watching it,
playoff
right?
stream
Yeah.
that they made me go into to like needle at Glenny Balls, and Dan was there the whole entire stream.
Right.
It's like it was a Thursday night,
That's probably unhealthy. At some
and then he
point.
was recording the next night because it was NBA play. It was just like they. But you know what? Like you need people like that. Like he just keeps.
See, Riggs, if
fucking
you
going.
blow him like that, you'll get on the show.
I'm learning. This is a
Yeah,
good
that's
lesson.
how you do it. That's
This is a
why
good
he's
lesson.
right. It's the good move, Frankie. It's
Yeah.
a good move.
Yeah, I'm blowing him. I mean, like they're the guys. I don't know.
I was saying
It's
a
almost
lot
like it's a
of,
part of yours in a way.
theoretically, I was saying a lot of like nice shots out there today to
Right.
Big Cast trying to.
Yeah.
Wow,
Didn't work
swing looks
out.
good.
Didn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's hypothetical. I mean, it's hypothetical.
Yeah.
it's a process.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
You got to trust. You got to build up to it. Next year's Writer Cup.
We'll ask him.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Writer Cup.
Yeah. It's, I remember when I first got the text, I was like, these idiots don't know how to spell Ryder Cup. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I've never
The
blocked.
best part
you.
is that would not be surprising. If that came
Totally.
from us.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
You're like, it's RYDER.
Jake Marsh is so good. Wouldn't you think a couple years ago that like he would just get completely like laughed out of the building, or like Dave would just never let it happen? But I think he's so good that it just works.
Yes.
we all don't think he made a hole in one, right? Like am I on that island alone?
Wait, so why do you not think so?
Not that I don't think, but it was edited to the point where it's like, well, maybe it did, but like didn't feel like a hole in one. Like I didn't see it go in.
He's too nice of a kid to have.
Like you want to say he made a hole in one, fine, but that's your proof in court.
I mean, thank God he had
that's
that.
A no.
Sometimes we think,
but you just had what? You could have.
sometimes like
that.
when we're just golfing, like we'll just go play 9
he's
holes or
not.
whatever. If I get a fucking hole in one, and if I'm not recording, I'm gonna kill myself.
We do
mean,
need to institute a film every par three,
yeah.
with you, no matter where we are.
And he's not like he's a nice kid, but he's like I can tell he's sensitive about it because I hit a pretty good shot today, and I was like, oh well, that was live. And I walked by him like that happened. He's like, he wasn't happy.
He would
about it.
never lie about that.
That's what I think. I think he's
he'd
the
be
wrong person to make it up.
That's why he did it.
No, he wouldn't be able to
crime,
sleep at night.
perfect
He wouldn't be
person.
able to sleep at night.
Do you have a hole in one?
No,
You?
No.
I got one here.
You
At
do.
the cradle.
No, you
It's
don't?
real.
No,
Nobody
no.
here?
Nobody here. Anybody in the room have it? No.
Imagine if all the producers had one.
You don't
got
count
12.
par 3 courses, right? I got one at the cradle.
No, that does not count. I've had aces apart.
Have you ever gotten close, Kirk?
Yeah, a couple of times, but no. I've hit the hole a couple of times, but no.
I don't even feel like I've been that close.
Theoretically, and I'm not gonna say who did it. Somebody hit it closest to the pin today, and did that theoretical person win a lot of money today?
Theoretically, that person might have won money, but
$1,000?
theoretically, that person might have also been peer pressured into donating into charity.
Wow.
Theoretically.
That better not theoretically happen with other potential winnings.
We
I mean, I didn't sign.
Winning
Theoretically,
teams would take
that
a lot of
person
money.
didn't sign anything.
Wow.
So I don't know if people are gonna like really keep track. of where the
$1,000
money
close
goes.
to the pin.
$1,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Which hole was it on?
Two.
Two.
Oh, wow.
And it was like
I think
12 feet.
I think I was the only. I think I might have been the only guy who hit the green.
Nobody hit the green.
I had a good shot. To be fair, it was like 12
Theoretically,
feet.
I wasn't close until
No, I hit
Oh,
the
it's just
cameraman.
off the green.
I know.
I hit the cameraman.
So was that you? Yeah. Theoretically, Trent, you hit a great shot at
Yeah.
that today.
All right. We can't keep teasing him. It's
I
just
think
a cock
I think
tease.
if someone actually writes down everything, they'd have like a pretty good idea of what's
it's a
going on.
cock tease.
You gotta bring is this kind of energy you're gonna bring the part of my take?
No, I'm gonna be way better.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell Dan you guys are coming.
Kirk, thank you for coming on.
Anytime, guys.
The
anytime.
best.
That was a lot of fun.
You're the
I
fucking
think Masters
best.
Week, he's a fucking historian.
Of course.
You gotta
Oh,
bring-
can I come on, Dan? Wow, what a moment that'll
ever
be.
gonna have
Will you give
Dan
me a
on-
jacket after?
Yeah, green one.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
We're gonna have the real Dan Rapport on your show since you have like the fake one that calls in. And
Did you hear when Portnoy thought that was actually you?
Yes.
It's like, where's the guy? He's like, this guy's kind of fucking crazy. He's calling in all the time. Like, yeah, I mean, it's him.
I was like, you
Master,
just got
one
two
last thing.
idiots.
Masters, I had lunch yesterday. I had the pimento cheese in my sandwich. It was kind of gross.
Oh,
I didn't love it.
I feel like you shouldn't do that outside of a guy.
Yeah, it felt weird that it was there. We're in the
I
South
go for the
or
egg
something.
salad.
Yeah, theoretically. There you go. Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Kirk, thank you. Kirk Minihane Show.
What a
Go
show!
Thrice weekly.
Fuck.
Thrice weekly. It will be sometime tomorrow, I hope.
And then 4 o'clock on the radio. Is that right?
Yes, prime time. Your drive time. Yeah.
Got it.
And then your guys' show Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesday live at 5. Definitely not pre-recorded.
Yep.
Every
Yep.
week.
We got kind of boned last week, but yeah.
I had a good week.
Did you wind up having a good week?
Yes, I ended up having a good week.
Oh, Scheffler.
Scheffler top
Rose.
5. Rose top 10.
Yeah.
I had 2 more.
Yeah. Cole.
Oh, Cole top 20
Yeah.
or 40. 40,
yeah,
top 40.
yeah.
You see, he went and played in the mini tour event.
He won it, right?
I saw he shot 28 on the back.
Yeah, I saw that.
He'd been playing this mini tour event for like 10 years when he had no money at all. It's like 30 grand to the winner. He's having a great year. He's made like $3 million and he drove like 8 hours overnight.
To steal
play
money,
in this
to steal
mini
money
tour.
from these other guys. Who are
That
just
was
trying
the
to nickel-
that was the take on Twitter. Everyone was
That's
like,
my
he's-
take.
"Yeah, you think it's a dick move?"
I'm gonna start looking through his likes to see if he was January 6th or not.
That's a good idea. That's very relevant.
Yeah, people were like, "Oh, he should let the
And
mini
Wyndham
tour
Clark
guys
was
win."
insane.
It's crazy.
People trying to fucking
People are nuts.
take him down. He was liking tweets. That was nuts.
Yeah,
I saw, Big Cat quote tweeted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to talk about
being-
tonight.
he-
Talking point.
I follow him. I wonder if he follows me. Check.
Have you ever met him? I pointed him out today to somebody. It's Dan Cass.
I'm going to take a picture. That was me, actually.
I think it was. I think that guy's gonna be on the
I
show
tapped
tonight.
Kirk on the shoulder. I go,
I think that guy's on part of my take tonight.
You guys
the fuck is that right
You guys
there?
stop making fun of my best friend, please. That'd be great.
By the way, Aaron Foster, started playing golf last year. He's fucking really good.
He's sick.
September, he said. Not even
September.
9 months.
That's crazy.
He's
Yeah.
good.
That's an
Yeah.
athlete.
I asked him, I was like, damn, you broken 90? He's like, yeah, but I'm retired. You got to understand. I do this like every day.
Yeah, he definitely breaks 90 a lot.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. 5 years, he's going to be really good.
Yeah.
He hits it great.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
All
Kirk,
right,
thank
Kirk,
you.
thanks again, bro.
Appreciate it.